Sure.
So if it's $500, it's a $2,800 mortgage payment for the rest of the time you own the property. So it doesn't matter if interest rates change. It doesn't matter if the balance goes lower. It will be $2,800. But you could make payments on that house for 15 years. It's probably going to be like around a $325,000 mortgage, and the payment is still $2,800. So what a loan modification, what they'll do now, they still have to underwrite it, but what they will do is they will go back, they will actually lower the loan amount, and they will lower the loan amount total and see if you qualify with a $325,000 amount. It's almost like a refinance, but they don't consider it like a full refinance. They don't package it up and sell the loan or anything like that. So, do you guys know that, like, you guys know what a refinance is? Eva, do you? It's okay.
Not really sure that I know.
So essentially a refinance is you have one loan. Let's say it's a $300,000 mortgage, $300,000 loan amount with a 8% interest rate. If the house is worth $1 million, you can do two types of refinances. You can pull cash out. Obviously, you get the new interest rate. So if it's $1 million, they might let you pull out 75% of that. So then you could pull $750,000 out, and then now you have a $750,000 loan. All a refinance is getting a new loan on the same house. That's probably the easiest way to put it. I don't need to explain all the different ways, but it's getting a new loan on the same house. So that's the thing is, with refinances, the banks do something called underwriting. Just like we underwrite our properties, they look at your credit history, your payment, your employment, all of those things. And so the second, shoot, do you guys still see me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, that's new for me. It just went away because I got a call and then my screen went away. Still figuring this stuff out. So that's a refinance, is getting a new loan. A loan modification, they have different guidelines. So they do need to have income. They do need to be working. So some of these people that we're speaking to, they're not working, so they can't get a loan modification. So if they say, "Oh, well, I'm working on a loan modification," you can ask, "Okay, cool. So you're working right now. You have a job right now." And then you can ask them if they're able to afford their new payments, because they may be, they may not. Does that make sense, Eva?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go through the rest of them. And you guys can read this stuff. I haven't actually read any of this. I'm not gonna read. I would never read things out loud for you guys on a training. That's just not what we do here. Bankruptcies. So essentially bankruptcies, there's two different types. There's a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13. I used to know the exact, like, how long each one of them stays on your credit. I don't remember anymore. We can have an attorney come and talk to us about these.
7 years, I think.
7 years for a Chapter 7, right? And then a Chapter 13 is 10.
Sounds right.
Okay, I know it can vary, but
a long time.
Yeah, a long time. Essentially, the only difference is when you hear someone say that they have a repayment plan, they probably filed a Chapter 13. So when you hear, well, I'm making payments, like, for example, one of the girls you sent over the other day, Eva, she was saying that she was making payments on it. But she filed a Chapter 13, and now she's just working two jobs to try to keep up with all of her, like, not only her current mortgage payment, but then she's having to repay all the other debt that she needs to pay off. So all they do is they essentially put together a repayment plan for you to pay back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Chapter 7, from what I understand, wipes it out. Like you just it's like a fresh start.
Right.
Rich,
It also wipes you out though as well. So they catalog every piece of jewelry you have, like every asset you might have. Yeah, they'll leave you with like a few grand. They'll leave you with a couple of dollars to, like, survive at the end. But, like, everything you have, they'll basically auction you off.
Okay, I didn't know that. So, yeah, you don't want to file a chapter 7. But if you hear people talking about like out of everybody we've spoken to so far, nobody's said they're going to file a chapter 7. We haven't spoken to any, at least that I've spoken to. They've all said chapter 13. Now, here's something to note. I just spoke to Darren about this the other day. If they file a chapter 13, number one, it doesn't always stop the foreclosure process. It can, but it doesn't always. And so they still need to work out the repayment plan and everything like that. And if they wait too late, it's just it doesn't work. Right. So that's number one. Number two, if they file a chapter 13, it only protects up to $600,000 in equity. So if their house has more than $600,000 in equity, they don't get to keep anything over that 600. They get the max of 600,000. So I spoke to a guy the other day that had a $7 million property and he owed 2.5 on the loan. So he gets 600,000 of that protected. Everything else goes, right? So there is some sort of protection act in California where $600,000 of equity is protected. Make sense?
Yep.
Everything else is selling. So those are like really your only it says 8 ways, but it's really take out a personal loan, take out a loan from a friend. And then other than that, it's just selling the property. You know, like take out a personal loan, take out a loan from the friend, bankruptcy, loan modification, or you sell it. We just have a couple of different ways that we could sell it. The way that this group that's doing these, they kind of broke this out. They typically ask why they don't list with an agent first to just see if they're even open to selling. It's like, well, what's the main reason you haven't just listed the property to try to save it? And then if they say, well, I would, but I don't have any time, that's a perfect segue into going into, well, we might be able to help you. Make sense?
Yeah.
So let's role play. Mason, I'll have you be the home buyer. And then Eva, you'll be the prospect, and you can kind of throw at Mason some stuff that you've been dealing with lately. Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Perfect.
Hey, Eva, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, it's just Mason. I help people that may be at risk of losing their homes. I saw a notice
Oh, I
that
don't want
your
to sell
property.
my house.
Yeah, I'm not calling to buy it, Eva. I was saying I had saw a notice that your property on Main Street hasn't been stopped from going to auction yet. I was just a bit curious if you were open to exploring some ways that we could help you stop the bank from taking the house.
I'm in the process of doing some stuff. That should postpone the auction date. Or can you still see that it's happening soon? Because it should be postponed by now.
No, so yeah, it's still showing for me that you guys are still set for auction on the 24th. I mean, just so you know, Eva, this call's pretty basic, really. It's just for me to learn a little bit more about what you've done so far to try to keep the house, just to see if there is a way we can help, because unfortunately there are some people that we just can't help.
Well, I am reaching out to the bank directly. I'm trying to figure something out myself.
Okay, and you haven't been able to get the auction postponed yet through them?
It should be. I mean, I'm in a 3-month trial for a loan modification. If everything goes well, they're gonna allow me a loan modification.
Okay, how far into that are you?
Well, I just started that like last week, so it should be postponed.
Oh, I see. Pause. I have a question, John, because this is from a call that Eva and I had yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I tagged you in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you saw it, but that guy, literally his payment has jumped up to now on his rental property. He's losing about $1,200 a month. And he literally said with like full conviction, he's like, well, it's better than selling, because selling real estate, he's like, you're a realtor. Selling real estate is the worst thing a person can do. So he's like planning on sitting on this property that's now losing him $1,200 a month.
Yeah, so that just takes a reframe. But not now, because you need to build a little bit of trust. So one thing to keep in mind with these people is like the people that are in these scenarios is a lot of time their logic may be just a little bit off. Like,
Yeah.
they just hear something and they stick to it, right? They hear something and they stick with it, which is so he's missing payments, obviously, if he's on our list, right?
Yeah.
He's so like selling real estate. You could even agree with him. You could be like, oh, I certainly understand. I've kind of said the same thing. However, a lot of our clients that we've worked with in the past, just because of the situation they're in, what they end up doing is, just finding a way to move on from this property specifically so they could reallocate those funds into something a little bit more lucrative where they're actually making money. Does that make sense? And so giving them an option to where you're not attacking them for being stupid. You're not like saying like, oh yeah, well, you're not, it's not going to be too good if the bank takes it, is it? Don't throw that in their face, but just like kind of agree with them and just go through the regular kind of objection handling, disarm them. Yeah, no, not a problem. I'd probably say the same thing if I were in your shoes, and then paint the story. So a lot of people that we've worked with in the past have kind of said something similar. However, what they've ended up doing is instead of losing money on a house where the payment has just jumped up, they actually just sell it, get some cash, and then they reallocate that cash into something that's actually profitable for them. So that way they don't have to lose money on like a recurring basis. And I'm not even sure if we'd be able to help you do that yet. I really would need to know a little bit more about like your property specifically, just to see if we could help. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So sometimes these people need some reframes. Like I heard one of my coaching students brought a call the other day, and the guy was literally like, I'd rather take my chances with losing the house than like go through an option where I can sell it. And it just doesn't make sense. Like why would you let the bank take your like foreclose on your house, have a foreclosure on your record, and take the equity? But they just need a little bit of a reframe. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So if for someone like this, what I would do is a mirror right here, which is if everything goes well, and see if that gets a sort of response. If everything goes well, and that would probably prompt, well, yeah, like they need to do this, they need to do that. Okay, and hopefully that works out. I really hope that does. It's usually the best way to do it. However, just in case that doesn't, like what would happen then? Right now you can open them up into what you want to do. Here's the thing with these people, I keep calling them these people. I don't mean to do that. Just like this type of avatar.
No, they're a different breed. I couldn't believe I was listening to that guy, and he's literally like, well, selling real estate, he's like, that's the worst thing you can do.
I'll just call
like,
it with pre-foreclosure leads or foreclosure leads, they do have a different way of thinking because they've been in the spot. Like most people, most people will try to figure something out before it goes to this point, like before it gets to this point. Like people are like, life happens to people, you know what I mean? And it happens. So some people are just, life happened to them too fast, and they had too much going on to deal with all of it, which is going to happen a lot. Right. But a lot of people will try to figure something out and not wait till the very last minute. So if they're waiting till right when the bank is about to take the house, like they probably will need some sort of mindset coaching, some sort of reframe. So for someone like this, what we don't want to do is we don't want to tell them that their way of thinking is wrong, because they will not trust you anymore. So just agree with them. And honestly, here's the other part. I truly believe if you just look out for people's best interests, it comes back. So if they are like, I hear somebody on the phone and they're telling me I will do anything I can to keep the house, and like they have kids at the house, I'm not going to try to buy the house. Like I honestly won't. I'll just be like, look, I hope that works out. You're working 2 jobs, you have kids, like you're trying to take care of your family. I respect that. Like, I hope it works out. We're not vultures here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let them try to figure it out. But one of the things, so I'll tell them, look, I hope that works out for you. I hope you get the loan modification. I hope that scenario works. However, what has been in the past is people wait too long. They hold on to hope for too long. And then by the time they reach out for help, it's too late. And so all we would do is go through some options in case that doesn't work out. And then when the deadline comes, we're here for you. So if it does end up between the bank's not going to help you relocate. They're not going to help you find a place for your kids. They're just going to come and they're going to show up with the police and say you need to leave within 48 hours. Right? We're not going to do that. We're going to there was a tenant that we've literally helped find a new apartment like this last month. Right? We will do that kind of stuff. And that's some of the stuff that I brought Stevie Ann to do as well, just so you guys know. Like I know you're like, well, who's going to do that? Me? No, you guys are going to keep selling, but you guys have some options to help these sellers, like really help them. So try to figure out exactly what they need and we'll help them from there. There was a lady yesterday, she just didn't have a real estate agent to help her find a new place. Cool, easy. Connect her with a real estate agent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? I know that was kind of long-winded.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Cool. Let's keep going.
All right. Okay, so you're in the first month of your payment arrangement for your modification.
Correct.
Okay, so how has that so far? I mean, you said you're in the first month of it. How has that affected your payment so far?
Well, it's still difficult to make it, but I'm managing. I have a second job.
Okay. What was your payment before?
500. I don't know,
570. Okay. What is it turned into now?
Well, it's increased a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. I mean, if it's only a little bit more and you have the second job, then it sounds like it'll be manageable.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, that first payment, how much higher than 570 was it?
The first payment. Well, right now I'm paying around 750.
750.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's almost 50% more. Okay.
Well,
So I
yeah.
mean, is that what you're looking to accomplish? Is just have this new payment of 750 and you'd be willing to deal with that for the next, looks like 18 years?
I mean, I can't guarantee, but I'm hoping I'll be able to keep up. I got the second job, and I really like the house, so I don't want to leave it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got all this figured out, Eva. I wonder, do you think there's anything that we can even do to help you out? It sounds like you're going forward with the loan mod and you're happy with that.
Yeah, it's been difficult, but I think I'll make it.
Yeah. Did you speak with any realtors to explore the option of putting the home on the market?
Pause. So you're doing good so far. You're doing a lot.
Doesn't feel good.
No, it was the beginning was really good. So the way that you went into situation to really understand the situation, you did really good. There started to be a lot of mirrors, and like repetitive mirrors kind of sound like they're not authentic, if that makes sense. So from there, like where you were digging into the payment and you were really trying to get the difference. What you really wanted to get was what she said was, it's difficult. It's been difficult, but I think I'm going to make it. Then you can dive into, how do you mean by difficult? Now you're in problem awareness, right? What you're looking for in situation, when you're in situation, what you're looking for is that if they say something along the lines of, it's hard, it's difficult, like in situation, you can pretty much bridge right into problem awareness by just asking, how do you mean difficult? When you say like difficult, how do you mean exactly? Right? And they will start telling you about what they mean by difficult. And now you have problem awareness. She would probably say, well, the payment's too high and I'm working 2 jobs. How long have you been working 2 jobs? For 6 months. Okay. And I guess sounds like you really don't like working 2 jobs. Now you're building it more. Well, no, I don't like it. Now solution awareness. Well, if we could kind of help you get into a new place, that way you could still take care of your kids and a lower payment. I mean, maybe renting, but you would not have to worry about this huge high payment. Like, do you feel like that might help? You know what I mean? Now you're in solution awareness. So that, like, those little bridges, I know it sounds easier said than done, but like when that kind of stuff will be like the easy transition for you, if that makes sense. Like you're in a situation, you hear a word like difficult, it's not ideal, it's not, things like that. That I always look at that as like the opening of a funnel. Like when I hear like a word like not ideal, it's like that is going to go. I'm going to get all of this stuff. And there's a guy, I always use this reference because I just think it was the funniest call ever. It was Ned Plaisance. He probably isn't even in the CRM anymore because he was a Louisiana lead.
I remember Ned.
Remember? Yeah, and it was the craziest. So here's the thing with this guy. He was a texting lead. We had him in the CRM for like 2 or 3 years. And he never really said anything was wrong for 2 or 3 years. He was just like, yeah, I don't know. I might sell, maybe, like just kind of like that. And then so I call him one day and I said, hey, it looked like you might be looking at some options to sell. Did you already sell that property or are you still out there looking? It's like a random call. It's on 100 call to close day. And he goes, no, I think I'm going to stay. He's like, I was like, oh, you think you're going to stay? He's like, yeah, it's not ideal, but I think I'm going to stay. I was like, how do you mean by not ideal? And then he just goes, well, I'm not really a subdivision guy. So what do you mean by that? And then he just opens up into like, I've been thinking about it didn't open up immediately, but just asking a couple more questions literally opened him up into, not only does he have the property now, which he doesn't like living in, he wants to sell so he can retire, but he also has a rental property that the tenants haven't been paying for like 6 months. He had $30,000 in legal fees and he's been trying to sell. Like, it's just like all of this stuff just opened up just from it's not ideal, right? And so we think like, oh, it's not ideal. That means they don't have a lot of motivation. I hear it's not ideal, and I hear like that's a ton of motivation, because it's like if your boyfriend, girlfriend says like, oh, I'm fine. Like, that does not mean that they're actually fine. If they say like
sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. If they say, oh, I'm great, I love it, I have the best life ever, I had the best day ever, it was honestly the best day possible. If they say that, I'll be like, okay, they probably had a pretty good day. Hey, how was your day, honey? Good. Like, what? Like, dive into that. You ask a couple questions, clarifying and probing questions, and you'll probably find out that it wasn't good. So just something to take into consideration. Oh, shoot. I just realized that my marketing meeting started at 9:15. These are 30-minute calls, right?
No, it's 15 minutes.
This is 15, yeah.
Oops. All right. I got to take off, guys. I'm 15 minutes late to my next call.
All
right.
right.
Talk to you guys later. Have a good day.
You
See
too.
you guys.
Bye-bye.